to the record, or did you intend to?
No, sir. They're on that disc.
Okay.
And I intend to, as we've moved away from the hard photographs, is identify each photo by the JPEG file number that's on there. Use the last extension numbers on that to identify for the record which photograph we're looking at on the disc.
And as she goes through each one, she'll talk about whatever it is that
Correct.
the photo depicts.
Correct.
All right. I just want to make sure that we were all clear. Very well.
I do have to set up the same as last week, Your Honor, with TV.
Yes.
And I'll be coming around to the other side. I intend to start with putting in, we saw the floor plan sketch on the disc last week, but I have a printed out copy that I'm going to let her use to kind of show the photos where she is and what we're looking at.
Okay.
So I'll start off putting that in, go through the photos, and then we have physical exhibits to put in before we go to other witnesses.
Very well. Anything else on behalf of the defense or any comment? All right. Very well. If you'll bring in the jury, please. Yes, ma'am. Excuse me. The clerk is asking just for her record. So when she identifies a particular photograph, she's going to say, this is 14B JPEG, or is it going to be its own exhibit number and it's
It's not going to
JPEG?
be its own exhibit number.
So
Clerk is fine. It's exhibit number 17. These are just going to be the
Okay, it's exhibit number 17 and
it's the photo disc.
Okay. Let the record reflect that all members of the jury are present. Good morning. I'll give you a moment to settle in, make sure that we got the right notebooks back to the right chair. And as you're doing that, I'm going to ask Agent Smithy if she'll return to the witness stand. When we left on Friday afternoon, she was testifying in this matter under direct examination from the state. She was under oath. She remains under oath. There's no need, or it's not necessary for us to re-swear her this morning. And once she is situated and you all, looks like, have your notebooks and are ready to go, Mr. Sachs, you may proceed.
Thank you. Good morning, Agent Smithy.
Good morning.
When we left on Friday afternoon, I believe we had just gone through the video and the 360 camera of your scene photographs of both 708 and 710 Colonial Drive. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And right before we left, I believe that we introduced into evidence State's Exhibit number 17, which is a photo disc regarding or containing a lot, if not all, of these still photos of this scene with respect and some other scenes that you were involved in this particular case. Is that also correct?
That's correct.
And just so that we know, on that photo disc that's introduced as State Exhibit number 17, does that contain all the photographs that you took of these scenes?
No, it does not.
Okay. But the photographs that are contained on there, are they fair and accurate depictions and photographs of the scenes as you saw them on the day that you were there, either at the scene or executing the search warrant of the vehicle, whatever the occasion may have been?
Yes, they are.
All right. And did you make any additions or corrections or Photoshop those photographs in any way from when you first took those photographs or had them made to what you're seeing now in State Exhibit number 17?
No, I have not.
I believe also last week on the disc that contained the panoramic views, the 360 camera views, we also had one JPEG file in there that had a sketch of the floor plan of these scenes. Do you recall that?
I do.
All right. And if I show you a hard copy of that sketch, would you be able to recognize it?
Yes.
I may approach, Your Honor.
Yes, sir. You may.
Ma'am, let me show you what's been marked for identification now as State Exhibit number 76. Do you see that sticker on there with the number 76?
I do.
Do you recognize that?
Yes, I do.
What is that?
This is a sketch of both 708 and 710 Colonial Drive.
And is this the exact printout or hard copy of that same sketch that we saw on the disc that was shown to the jury last week as State Exhibit number 16?
Yes, it is.
Okay. And could you use that sketch as we go through some of the photos on the photo disc on State Exhibit 17 to help illustrate your testimony as to where you are and orient the jury as to where some of these items were found?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Your Honor, move then to introduce State Exhibit 76 into evidence.
Any objections?
No, Your Honor.
It is admitted and received into evidence.
And Agent Smithy, now, with respect to the photographs that we had, you indicated you were involved in several different locations as part of this investigation. Is that correct?
Correct.
What is the first place that you respond to when you got involved in this particular case?
The first place I responded to was at 708 Colonial Drive.
Okay. And were there photographs taken of the scene there at 708 Colonial Drive back on January the 5th of 2013?
Yes, there were.
Okay. And have you had a chance to review those photographs on State Exhibit number 17?
I have.
Okay. As you look on the monitor now, can you see those some of those thumbnail photographs that are on there?
Yes.
Do those appear to be the scene photographs from that time?
May I approach?
You may.
They do, yes.
Okay. And so as you see on the path here on the top, we just had them loaded, but we had this on a disk drive, and then there was a folder named Photos, and under that folder, another subfolder called Scene, where these photographs are located. Is that correct?
That's correct.
All right. And do these appear to be those scene photographs? And I can scroll down.
They do.
Now reposition.
Absolutely, yes.
Do those appear to be them?
Yes, they do.
Okay. Let's go through them then.
Your Honor, I object again for the record as far as the repetitiveness and duplicativeness of the photos as being prejudicial, outweighing any probative value.
The objection is noted for the record and overruled, and in my discretion, I'm going to allow the photos depicted in State 17 to be offered and published to the jury, and also for the record state that the probative value outweighs the prejudicial effect pursuant to Rule 403.
And Your Honor, may Agent Smithy be allowed to stay down off the stand so she can show, illustrate, or point out to the jury what we're looking at?
She may, and I'm going to dim the lights in here, and she'll just need to be mindful that as she does that, she's likely going to block some of the folks on the jury, so you may need to...
I can stand back here if you need to. I can see it from here.
May I?
Does she need a laser pointer?
Oh.
Yeah.
It's the... I don't know if it'll do it on the screen, but you can try that one. It's this button down here.
Okay.
Agent Smithy, in your line of work and just in normal, are you familiar with digital cameras, generally how they work these days?
Yes,
And are you familiar with, and is that the type of camera that you all use in your line of work?
it is, yes.
Okay. And a digital camera, are you familiar with the JPEG or file number that usually gets associated with each photograph that's taken?
Yes.
Okay. As you may see in the upper left-hand corner of the photograph, there is a file number ending with a JPEG extension, and we'll just call that the JPEG number for right now. Do you see where the cursor is?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So what we'll do is we'll identify each photograph by, let's say, the last 3 or 4 digits of the JPEG file number, okay?
Okay.
So we're starting off with 6696. What are we looking at in this photograph?
This is standing in the front yard at 708 Colonial Drive looking at the front door.
Now, last week when we looked at both the 360 camera views and the video, it was daylight. Do you recall that?
Yes.
So were those taken after these photographs were?
Yes, they were.
Okay. Because we note here that it appears to be nighttime.
It was nighttime when I first started taking the initial scene photographs. I believe I arrived very early in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning, approximately.
All right. Next photograph with the number 6702. What is this?
This is standing a little bit closer to the front door at 708 Colonial Drive.
How about 6708?
This is standing on the front stoop area of 708 Colonial Drive, looking inside into the living room area, partially.
How about photograph 6709?
This is standing on the front stoop at the front door at 708, looking down at the threshold leading into the living room.
And this, I guess, kind of wood debris that's noted down here on the bottom right of the picture, was that as you found it?
It was. I believe that's portions of the front door as it was forced open.
How about photograph 6711?
This is looking at the front door of 708. It's the right side door frame of the front door.
The right side as you're looking which way?
If you're standing on the front stoop looking in towards the inside of the residence, it's the frame that's on your right-hand side.
How about photograph 6716?
This is standing inside the living room looking at the front door of 708.
Does it start to show some of the damage to that door frame to the front door?
Correct.
How about photograph 6719?
This is just showing a picture of the deadbolt to the front door at 708, just showing that it was engaged at the time that it was forced open.
Is that deadbolt lock, is that as you found it when you arrived on the scene?
It is.
How about 6720?
This is also standing inside the residence in the living room, looking at the front door from the inside, and you can see some of the damage to the frame on the left side of that frame.
How about 6721?
Again, standing in the same position, just looking upward a little bit to capture the full inside of the front door, showing the door frame.
And does this capture where the door frame actually split and the upper portion of that molding wood,
Yes.
where the cursor and the arrow is here?
Yes, that entire portion from the area that he's pointing to now is what was found on the inside on the couch in the living room.
All right, photograph 6725.
This is also at the front door, just showing, again, the engaged deadbolt, but also the key that's on the inside keyhole of the deadbolt, and that's also how I found it upon my arrival, with the key inside.
How about photograph 6729?
This is also in the living room, showing the portion of the front door frame lying on the couch, and this is exactly how we
It's got
found
this
it.
piece of wood here.
Correct. This is how we found it once we arrived.
How about 6731?
This frame is standing inside the residence looking with the front door behind me. The same couch with the portion of the door frame is on your left, and the couch on the right is clearly where the male victim is found.
And this room here would be what? Which room?
Leading into the kitchen area, you see the refrigerator there on the right side.
About 6732.
This would be, the front door would be on my right-hand side. The television stand is what you see on the right-hand side, the black item there, with the couch straight ahead.
A photograph 6733.
This is also standing with the front door to my right, looking at the television stand.
Photograph now 6734.
Just standing further inside the living room, looking back at the front door, you can see the couch with the portion of the door frame there and the television stand on your left.
How about photograph 6735?
This one's basically in the same position, just panning over slightly to my right. You can see the entrance to the kitchen there on your right, and the couch with the door frame portion.
And in this photograph, looking into that kitchen doorway, do you also see the doorway here that's going to be leading to that hallway?
Correct. Immediately to your left, once you enter that threshold into the kitchen, there is a small hallway to your left.
How about photograph 6736?
Again, in the same position, panning slightly more to your right, you can still see the entryway to the kitchen and the couch with the male victim on the right.
How about photograph 6739?
This is standing near the black chair that's at the bottom of the screen, looking at the television stand and the couch with the victim on your left.
We noted from the photographs and the video from last week that there were yellow evidence placards placed around the scene that you said you had put there. Is that correct?
Correct.
At the time that you first took these photographs, had you placed those yellow placards yet?
No, not yet.
And so all of these small little items on the floor, these some of those casings that you marked and noted in the video and the panoramics?
Correct, yes.
But the photograph 6750.
This is standing with the television stand behind me, looking into the kitchen. You can see the female victim lying on the floor and the male victim on the couch on the right.
And are these eventually going to end up being some more of those casings that you mark and collect later that are noted on the floor here?
Yes, there were numerous shell casings in the living room.
Photograph 6752.
This is just standing closer to the entryway to the kitchen from the living room, and you can see the female victim lying on the kitchen floor.
How about photograph 6753?
I believe this is standing right in the threshold between the living room and the kitchen and the female victim on the floor.
And again, one of those casings, was it found here between her ankles, I guess, on the floor?
Yes, it was.
How about 6757?
This is inside the kitchen. You can see the refrigerator on your left, the dining room table kind of in the bottom corner, and the female victim, and behind her is the small storage closet / pantry in the kitchen area.
How about 6758?
Same position, just panning slightly to your right, just showing more of the kitchen area.
About 6760?
Again, same position, showing more of the kitchen area to your right, and on the far right, you can kind of see that side door. That's the door that leads out to the carport area on the side of the residence.
Is that here where the cursor is?
Correct.
About 6771?
This is standing closer to that side door, looking back towards, obviously, the female victim on the floor. You can see the threshold into the living room just beyond her.
That would be here where the cursor is?
Yes.
Okay. And would this then be the threshold to that hallway?
Correct.
Where we are now? All right, how about 6788?
This is standing next to the female victim, looking straight down at her back. Her head would be towards the right of the screen and her legs and feet towards the left. And this is showing several bullet wounds or bullet defects on her clothing.
How about 6789?
This is just a overall the bottom portion of her body. You can see the shell casing in between her 2 feet there on the left.
Is that here?
Yes, and additional defects from bullets on her right leg, on the back of her right leg.
About 6795?
This is getting down low towards the floor, getting a shot of the wound that was on the back of her hand and the position that her hands and face were in.
Photograph 6804?
This is back in the living room, standing next to the couch, just showing an overall picture of the male victim.
How about 6805?
This is a close-up of it's the lap area of the male victim. He's covered in, I believe, 2 blankets, if I remember correctly. He's got a plate of of food on his lap. I believe there were a couple of them. You can see the one in the right-hand side of the screen.
Feel free to go point that out to him, because I don't want to do it.
This plate was intact. There was also another plate. Both appeared to have food on it. This plate obviously was broken, and there were food remnants all over the blanket and in his lap. And you can see his hands in the upper left corner.
How about 6811?
This is a close-up of the head and face area of the male victim, showing 2 bullet wounds in his neck, the front of his neck.
That would be here where the arrow is on.
Correct.
How about 6824?
This is back in the kitchen, standing near the female victim. On the left here, you can see this is the living room area. This is the front door to the residence. And this is the entryway into the small hallway leading to the bedrooms.
How about 6825?
This is standing in the threshold between the kitchen behind me and looking down at the hallway. And at the very end of the hallway, you see the hall closet with the door open.
And again, we might be able to see in this photograph, there appear to also be some of these shell casings on the floor in the hall here. Is that correct?
Correct. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I believe there's one down here that's a unfired round that I don't believe you can see in this picture.
How about 6826?
This is the unfired round that I just mentioned. This area is the kitchen area. This area is the entry to the hallway. And I don't know if you can see it right here, but this is an unfired round. And you can this is one of the shell casings here.
How about 6827?
This is just a close-up of the unfired round.
How about 6834?
This is at the end of the hallway. This is the hall closet door. It's open, so this is the inside of the hall closet door. And all of these areas right here are defects from bullet holes that went through the door.
Was that hall closet door open when you got to the scene?
It was,
Okay.
yes.
So again, these photographs are as you found the scene when you got there?
Correct. In all of these pictures, nothing has been moved or altered by myself or anyone, with the exception of first responders.
How about 6835?
This is standing in the hallway. This area right here is looking back in towards the kitchen. This area is leading towards the one and only bathroom in the residence, and you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 shell casings, and then this up here is the unfired round.
How about photograph 6842?
Again, standing in the hallway, this is the bathroom area. This is, believe, the parents' bedroom. And this area on the side here is an area of damage on the wall. We think this door to this bedroom had been forced open, so we think maybe whoever forced this open fell back into the wall and damaged the wall.
How about photograph 6844?
The right side here is the bathroom. This area here is the bedroom that I was just talking about. This here is a defect in the frame of that bedroom doorway.
That defect appeared to be consistent with the bullet hole?
Yes.
How about 6851?
This is standing in the bathroom, looking out into the hallway. This is the bathroom door. And this appeared to be also a defect from a bullet.
How about 6862?
This is inside the bathroom, looking with the door to the bathroom behind me. Obviously the bathtub area, but there were some defects also in the bathroom, in the tub area, in the shower area from bullets.
All right. How about photograph 6865?
This is standing near in front of the bathtub. This is the soap dish, and this right here is a defect from a bullet.
Photograph 6868.
This is inside of this bedroom with the bathroom. If you go out this doorway, right directly on your left, standing in the bedroom, this is the door to the bedroom. And I believe this is, no, I'm not sure if that's, I don't believe that's a defect from a bullet, but this is standing inside the bedroom.
How about 6871?
This is the door to that bedroom, showing you can see the split down the front of this door where it had been forced open. You can also see that there's no doorknob on the exterior side of that door. The doorknob for this door was found inside this bedroom.
How about photograph 6874?
Again, standing in the bedroom, you can see the bedroom door with the split and the missing doorknob. Just beyond it on the opposite side is that wall with the damage, and you can see it's in a circular pattern on the opposite side of that door where that door would have been if it had been closed.
How about photograph 6885?
Same bedroom, the door here is on your left. You can see the closet up here on the left side. There were defects from bullets inside this closet, as well as I believe a projectile found on that drum set. And I believe some of this debris on the floor is from the sheetrock, bullets going through the sheetrock.
How about photograph 6887?
I believe this is in the same bedroom. This is a portion of the door that had been forced open in that bedroom.
If we go, you can see the yellow item here that stands out. If we go back one photograph to 6885, does that give you
Yes.
a context of where we are?
And you can see the portion is from the door. The door is completely across the room from where that item is found.
All right, how about photograph 6890?
Okay, this is looking in towards the closet of that bedroom. You can see the drum set that was on the right earlier, right here. If looking more towards that way is the door to the bedroom. These right here are bullet holes.
Is this still the bedroom that's right next to the bathroom?
Yes.
Okay, I think you had said earlier you thought this was the parents' bedroom. Seeing the items in the closet now, do you still think that that's the parents' bedroom?
It may have been the child's bedroom. I believe that's where the child was sleeping. I'm not sure if that was
Okay.
the parents' bedroom or not.
We'll go through some other photographs. and see.
Okay.
How about photograph 6893?
This is looking into the closet in the same bedroom, looking at the back wall of the closet. I believe you can see the frame right here. I believe this is the back wall of the closet. I'm not sure, just based on this photograph. It's kind of,
Okay.
but I believe those are bullet defects in the back wall of the closet.
Is that here where the arrows are?
Correct.
How about 6902?
This is the second bedroom. Standing in the threshold, looking into it, straight behind me would have been the short hallway and then the bathroom.
Does this appear to be a photograph of the parents of the master bedroom?
I believe this may have been the parents' bedroom as opposed to the other one.
And we note on this one, that the door to it still has the knob on the exterior portion of that door. Is that correct?
Correct.
How about photograph 6907?
Same bedroom, just panning slightly to the right of the bed that's there on your left.
6911?
This is standing inside the bedroom across the room from the front door of the bedroom. And you can see there's a closet here on your left. I don't know if you can see this mark right here in the wall. That's a defect from a bullet. Down the hall here, you can see the damage in the wall opposite of the bedroom, the other bedroom, and the bathroom would be straight back.
How about photograph 6922?
This is standing back with the kitchen behind me, looking down a small hallway, And this is the hall closet with the door open.
Photograph 6925.
This is inside that closet. This iron, which was in the closet, was damaged from a bullet. And behind here, right here and here and here, were also defects from bullets.
And that, looking at, if you still have your sketch with
Yes.
you, this closet, does it, does the wall, the back wall of that closet, would that be the wall that then leads into the adjoining apartment at 710 Colonial Drive?
Yes, it goes directly into another closet in 710 Colonial Drive.
How about photograph 6928?
This is in the living room. The front door to 708 is either directly beside me or slightly behind me. This is the television stand, and right here you can see is a bullet defect.
That's into the side of the TV?
Correct.
How about photograph 6931?
This is the opposite side of the television, facing the wall, and you can see there's a defect from a bullet coming out from the opposite side of the television.
And that defect appears to have some pieces to it pointing out, indicating that the bullet may have come from inside the TV out that hole, correct?
Correct. It entered in from the opposite side of the previous picture, traveled through the television set, and exited through that side.
How about photograph 6932?
This is the television set where the bullet traveled through. This is the corner of the living room right here, and you can see the path of the bullet that traveled through the television set went directly into the wall. And this is the same wall, this wall right here, that's the same wall that the couch was on with the male victim on it.
All right, how about photograph 6951?
So this is back out at the front area of 708 Colonial Drive. You can see in here that I've now placed yellow placards by each piece of evidence that we had found at that point. And you can see number 2 is next to a shell casing, number 1 is next to a shell casing, and so on inside the residence. Once we've taken pictures of the scene as it is without anything being altered or disturbed at all, we go back and we add our placards, and we'll take additional photographs, basically taking them over but having placards in there this time, showing where pieces of evidence were.
And the items you have marked there as 1 and 2, what kind of shell casings were those? You can use your...
Yeah. Okay, item 1 was a possible 45 round, and item number 2 is also a possible 45 round.
How about photograph now 6957?
This is the threshold looking into the living room area of 708, and you can see items 3, 4, and 5. All 3 of these are possible 45 rounds. And I believe you can see number 6 there in the background. Number 6 is also a possible 45 round shell casing.
Hold on. This is 6958. I thought that was the name. Okay, that last
Yeah.
photograph I misspoke was 6957, correct? See the JPEG number?
Yes.
Okay. So let's now go down to 6958.
Okay, this is standing right at the entry to the front door. You can see the frame here with the damage on it. Looking at 3, 4, 5, and 6, all of which are possible 45 round shell casings.
And in the very back, I think we see another yellow placard for...
Right, that's another shell casing which is behind the TV stand there, and that's a rifle round, a 7.62 rifle round shell casing.
How about photograph 6965?
Again, showing 3, 4, 5, 6, and 21, but it also shows right near the couch where the male victim was found. You can see 8, 9, and 10, and 11, 12, and 13. Number 8 Here is a rifle round, a 7.62 rifle round shell casing. 9 is also a 7.62 rifle shell casing. 10 and 11 are the same things. Number 12 is going to be a possible 45 shell casing. And then 12 and 13. Number 12 is also going to be a 45, and then 13 is going to be a rifle round, a 7.62 rifle round.
How about photograph 6966?
This is standing in the living room with the door, the front door behind me. You can see 8, 9, and 10, which we talked about. Number 7 is another shell casing. That's going to be a rifle round, 7.62 rifle round. You can see into the kitchen area. Number 23 is right here. Number 23 is going to be, it's a projectile fragment from a bullet. Friday, I believe I talked about there was, once a bullet is fired, sometimes once it passes through so many items, it will fragment. And some of these fragments were found throughout 708 and 709. And so number 23 right here is just a portion of a projectile fragment.
You said 709. Did you mean 710?
I'm sorry. Yes.
The address, you were giving the
I'm sorry.
addresses of Colonial Drive?
Yes, it was 708 and 710. I'm sorry. 22 right here is another projectile fragment. 24 right here that's in between the feet of the female victim, that's going to be a 7.62 rifle round. And 28 there in the background is another rifle round, a 7.62 rifle round in the kitchen area.
How about photograph 6970?
This is a photograph of the male victim on the couch with the shell casings near him and near the couch. There were additional shell casings and projectiles that were found in his lap and in the couch that are later documented.
Can you tell us what you found as that you've marked as item number 8?
Number 8 was another unfired rifle round, 7.62, similar to the one that was in the threshold of the kitchen and the hallway area. Both were unfired.
And I believe you can see in the photograph it's got a little bit of an orange or copper tip to that.
Right, and here there's no copper tip. This is just a shell casing, and on this one you can see a little copper colored tip on there.
How about photograph 6974?
This is the living room floor. This is the television stand here, the couch. It shows 14 and 15. 14 is a 7.62 rifle round. I'm sorry, shell casing. And number 15 was a possible 45 shell casing.
How about photograph 6981?
This is the corner wall of the living room. This is the wall that the couch is located on with the male victim. This is down here at the bottom is the television stand. So you can see 15, 16 is going to be, well, 16, 17, 18, and 19. All of these are shell casings from a 7.62 rifle.
How about photograph 6988?
This is partially behind the television stand, which you can see right here. And right there you can see another 7.62 rifle shell casing.
And then photograph 6996?
This, which is completely out of focus, is the television stand. This right here is the front window looking out onto Colonial Drive. And you can see right here is a 7.62 rifle shell casing, and the placard is behind it. This was completely behind the television stand and somewhat difficult to get to.
Yeah. Is that casing basically where we have the arrow cursor right now?
Correct.
Photograph 6999.
This is standing in the living room looking into the kitchen. You can see 23, which is the fragment, projectile fragment here. 22 was the another fragment, and then 24 was another rifle shell casing in between the female victim's feet.
About photograph 7006.
Also in the kitchen, you can see the female victim here. Item 25, right by the pantry or storage closet door, you can see it right here, is another 7.62 rifle round.
About photograph 7009.
This is in the kitchen. You can see the female victim here. The refrigerator is here. Number 26, I believe you can see it right here. That's a rifle round. 27, 28, and 29. All of these are shell casings, 7.62 rifle rounds.
About photograph 7021.
This is in the kitchen area. Item number 30 is going to be a 7.62 rifle shell casing. 31 is also going to be a 7.62 rifle shell casing.
Photograph 7025.
This is just a close-up of item number 31. This is the kitchen sink here, and this is a close-up of a 7.62 rifle shell casing.
Photograph 7027.
Standing in the kitchen, looking out towards that small hallway here, you can see item number 32 is an unfired round, 7.62 rifle round, and 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, and 38 are all shell casings from a 7.62 rifle.
Photograph 7038.
These are from day 2. This is standing in the hallway. This is the bathroom area up here. You can see the kitchen area and the female victim's feet. 24 was the shell casing in between her feet. 32 was the unfired round. 33, 34, 35, 36 were shell casings. Number 39 is also going to be a rifle round, 7.62. 40,
I'm sorry, is 39 a round, an unfired round, or is it a casing?
a shell casing, I'm
Okay.
sorry.
All right.
Item number 40 is another shell casing, a rifle shell casing, and 41 is going to be a projectile fragment on the bathroom floor.
Photograph 7039.
This is the bathroom area here. You can see 39, 40, and 41, and the damage to the wall directly opposite of the bedroom door that was forced open.
Photograph 7044.
In the bathroom, both of these, 42 and 43, were small fragments from a projectile.
That's 7049.
This is inside the bedroom, looking at the closet with the drum set.
Is this the bedroom nearest the bathroom?
Yes, it is.
That's 7051.
This is the drum set that's inside the closet of the bedroom, and you can see there's damage down here to the bottom portion of the drum, which is a defect from a bullet.
That's 7057.
I believe, based on this chair that's here, I believe this is the opposite bedroom, the one not closest to the bathroom. This is a defect in the wall. If you walk into the bedroom of that door and look to your right, it's the wall on that side of the bedroom. There's a defect from a bullet in that wall.
Photograph 7061.
This is the same bedroom as the previous picture. Looking into the closet of this bedroom, the door to this bedroom is along this same wall, approximately this far as the door to this bedroom over here.
7062.
Same bedroom, same closet. You can see in the corner here a defect from a bullet, which appeared to have come through the closet or the wall on the other side.
About photograph 7153.
This is back in the living room. This is the front window of 708. The front door is to my right or slightly behind me. This here on top of the, I believe, a DVD player on top of the television stand is the male victim's wallet.
About photograph 7155.
This is a picture of the identification that was inside of that wallet belonging to Jose Flores, Mendoza Flores.
About photograph 7156.
Inside the wallet, I'm not sure exactly how much money it was, but we did find several bills inside that wallet.
About photograph 7231.
This is back in the kitchen, looking at the bar kitchen wall area where the cabinets were. Item number 30 down here on the left side, that is going to be, oh, I'm sorry, it's a mistake. Item 30 is going to be a 7.62 rifle round, shell casing, 47. Number 47 here is going to be a projectile on the floor, and 48 is a projectile that was embedded in the back wall of this cabinet here.
How about photograph 7243?
This is the sink area in the kitchen. Number 31 was the rifle shell casing there. 49 is actually it's a fragment. It's inside this container with a pink liquid. I'm not sure what that was, but there was a fragment inside that liquid.
Photograph 7248.
Same items of evidence. I believe this is just showing the window above the sink, and there were, I believe in previous pictures, the blinds were down. I've pulled the blinds up, and now you can see there's some bullet holes in the windows.
That's basically where we have the arrow cursor going right now.
I believe so. That picture's kind of bright,
Okay.
but yes.
How about 7249 then?
That's a better picture of the window. You can see a bullet hole here and a bullet hole here. Both went straight through the window.
About 7270.
This is the hall closet door at the end of the small hallway. It's closed now, so you can see the exterior side of the door with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bullet holes in the exterior side of it.
7290.
Same door, same side. I've now put scales on the bottom of each of the bullet holes so that I can take pictures. I've circled all of them and labeled them C1, just noting that they came from the same area.
Photograph 7311.
This is the inside of that hall closet door. Same bullet holes with scaled stickers on, and C1 noting that they came from the same area.
And I believe this photograph now captures the fifth hole that was above the grouping you marked as C1.
Correct.
Photograph 7330.
This is the back wall of that same closet. You can see this is the cord from the iron that was there and damaged. These are the bullet holes that correspond with the holes that were in the hall closet door.
Photograph 7362.
This is back in the bedroom closest to the bathroom, and this is a window that looks out onto the backside, the backyard area of 708 Colonial Drive.
Photograph 7364.
This is a closer up picture of that same window on the left hand side, and I don't know if you can see right here, there's a bullet that went straight through this window.
Is that here?
Correct.
Arrow.
It went through the sheet that was covering the window first, and you can barely see the hole there.
How about photograph 7365?
Same window. I've lifted the sheet that was covering it up, and you can see a bullet hole right here in the window.
photograph 7384?
This is inside the bathroom, the inside of the bathroom door, and you can see 1, 2, 3 bullet holes in the door.
How about photograph 7440?
This is inside the bedroom that's closest to the bathroom again. Once portions of this drum were removed, we found a projectile on the bottom portion of this part of the drum, and it's labeled as item number 50.
So looking at photograph 7442, what is that?
This is a close-up of the projectile, item number 50.
Photograph 7444.
This is in the same bedroom, same closet. Item 51 is going to be a fragment from a projectile.
And that's after you removed all the drum set?
Yeah, the last bottom portion of that drum has now been removed.
And how about photograph 7446?
I believe this is item 51. This is the projectile fragment.
Photograph 7471.
This is, item 55 is going to be a 7.62 rifle shell casing, and 56 is going to be a possible 45 shell casing on the blanket that's covering the male victim on the couch.
Photograph 7481.
This is the couch in the living room where the male victim was found. His right foot can be seen there. Item 57 is going to be a possible 45 shell casing.
Photograph 7486.
Item 58 is a possible 45 shell casing.
Now, at this time, it appears that y'all have removed the blankets from the male victim. Is that correct?
Correct.
So when you removed those blankets, is that when you found this item on that couch?
Correct.
How about photograph 7487?
This is a close-up of item 58 showing the possible 45 shell casing there.
Photograph 7603.
This is the same couch. The victim has now been removed from the scene, and we've continued to search the couch area and the cushions and the wall behind it for additional evidence. Item 61 was found. It's a projectile from a rifle found from the seat cushion under the victim.
How about photograph 7614?
This was a projectile found in the couch cushion. We actually unzipped each of the cushions, pulled out all the insides to look for any kind of projectiles or fragments that may be in there. And this right here is a projectile fragment from that couch cushion.
How about photograph 7677?
On the couch, item 68 is going to be a projectile from a possible 45 round on the couch cushion there.
About photograph now 7686.
Okay, now once the victim was removed from the couch and we were able to search the couch, we then moved the couch back to look behind the couch and into the wall and into the corner, again, for any projectiles or any evidence that may be behind there. And item number 69, which was also a possible 45 projectile, was found in the corner on the floor.
Did y'all also note when you moved the couch back several holes in the wall that appear to be consistent with bullet holes?
Yes, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 here on the wall that was behind the couch.
About photograph 7688.
This is just a close-up of item 69, the possible 45 caliber projectile.
Photograph 7689.
Again, this is the wall that the couch was covering. This is the wall behind the couch. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 bullet holes in the wall there.
How about photograph 7815?
This is in the back bedroom closest to the bathroom, item 70. And I don't know if I can barely see it from here, but there's 2 fragments from projectiles on the floor near the closet here.
Is that what you marked with the orange pointers?
Correct. It's pointing to 2 of the fragments, but they're very hard to see. But they're both item number 70.
How about photograph 7816? Is that a close-up of those fragments?
Yes. This is actually, I'm sorry, can you go back?
Yeah.
This right here is actually the projectile. I apologize. Item number 70 is a projectile, which you can see right here. These 2 pointers are pointing to defects in the carpet, which appear to be from bullet holes.
And then that brings us full round to the beginning, correct?
Correct.
While you're there, let's go ahead and finish all these out. On this photo disc, you indicated that you had photographs from several different scenes. Is that correct?
Correct.
Did you have the occasion to process a particular motor vehicle that was seized in this particular case?
I did.
Do you know what kind of vehicle that was?
That was a Dodge Durango.
Okay. And in processing that vehicle, did you take photographs of it?
I did.
And have you seen the photographs on the disc here, marked State Exhibit number 17, that are the photographs you took of that Dodge Durango vehicle?
I have.
Okay. Actually, before we get there, because I don't want to leave the scene, we do have one more thing. You indicated at the scene you not only went to 708 Colonial Drive, but you also went to 710 Colonial Drive?
That's correct.
So on the subfolder here on this disc marked Neighbor's House, we load those up. As you see the thumbnails that come up on the monitor, do these appear to be the photographs the still photographs that you took or had taken at 710 Colonial Drive back on January the 5th of 2013 and when you were processing this scene?
Yes, they do.
Okay. And again, do they appear to be fair and accurate depictions as you reviewed them of that neighboring scene at 710 Colonial Drive from what you recall?
Yes, they do.
Okay. Let's start with those then. We'll do the same thing with the JPEG numbers. Starting with photograph 7065. What is this?
This is looking at the front door of 710 Colonial Drive.
Now, we see that it's daylight at this point. Is that correct?
Correct.
All right. So were you busy photographing and dealing with the crime scene next door at 708 before, while it was still night, before getting to this one?
Correct. They wanted to release this part of the residence to the owners that lived here, so they asked us to stop processing in 708 and examine 710 so that it could be released to the family.
All right. How about photograph 7067?
This is the front door to 710. On this wall, you can see here above this picture is a bullet hole. On the other side is a child's bedroom that it came through.
How about photograph 7069?
Closer picture of this bullet hole above that picture frame.
And photograph 7070.
And again, just a closer picture of that bullet hole in the wall.
Photograph 7072.
This is in the same living room, 710. The front door is going to be on my left side now, and the entryway to the kitchen would be on my right side now. Above this couch, this wall here is the opposite wall from the picture that we just saw with the bullet hole above the picture frame, and directly across the room is another bullet hole next to that window.
Photograph 7073.
Closer up picture of the bullet hole next to the window.
And finally, 7075.
Again, a more close picture of the bullet hole next to the window.
Now, you may recall when we did the panoramic view of this scene, we zoomed in on this to kind of show that shape of this hole in the wall. Is that clearly shown in this still photograph on 7075 and in this photo disc marked State Exhibit 17?
Yes, it is.
Photograph 7080.
This is in the child's bedroom at 710. This wall here in the bedroom, I believe, refer back to this. Okay, on the opposite side of this wall is the bedroom at 708, which is not closest to the bathroom. And you can see there's some bicycles parked against this wall, but right above it, you can see here there's a bullet hole.
How about photograph 7083?
This is just a closer picture of the bikes parked against the wall and the bullet hole that's above them.
Okay. How about 7084?
Again, just a closer picture with the bullet hole on that wall.
7086?
Same wall, the bullet hole would be up here. There was a second bullet hole in this wall, but it's covered up by the bikes here.
How about photograph 7090?
Okay, you can see the bikes here and then the bullet hole on the other side, on that same wall.
Photograph 7101.
This is in the same bedroom. You can see the bikes and the wall that had the bullet defects in it. 45. And 44 and 45 were both projectile fragments that were found on the floor in this bedroom.
Photograph 7112.
Once we removed the bikes and the boxes and everything that was covering that wall, you can now see this is the original bullet hole that you could see before, and now this one down here you can see once the bikes were removed.
How about photograph 7121?
This is on the opposite side of the bedroom from the previous wall that we just saw, and you can see right up here, this is a bullet hole in the wall. This hole corresponds with the hole in the living room wall that was right above the picture frame and on the opposite wall that was next to the window.
Can you show that on the sketch that you're referring to as Stacy's Exhibit 76? What they're looking at.
Let's see. Okay, this wall in the picture here is going to be on this wall right here.
How about photograph 7122 then? It may help. We'll go back.
Can you go back one, please? Okay, this is the same wall, just a close-up picture of the bullet hole that went through the top portion of that wall.
So 7122 is that close-up photograph?
Correct.
How about photograph 7125?
This is the wall in the living room of 710. This is the front door here on the side. This is the bullet hole that corresponds with the bullet hole we just saw in the previous picture. It went through the child's bedroom wall first and came out the living room wall.
Okay. And then photograph 7126?
Just a close-up picture of that bullet hole above the picture frame.
7128?
And again, the far wall, once it had gone through the child's bedroom, the living room wall, it went across the living room and into this far wall. Beyond this wall is the outside of 710. There's brick on the other side. It did not come out on the other side, so it's probably, the projectile is probably somewhere in between the wall, but this is the bullet hole next to the window.
How about photograph 7130?
This is the bullet hole from the previous picture next to the window. I've put a scale in the picture just to take a photograph of it so we could know approximately how big it was.
And is this the clearest picture that you've taken that shows the shape of that hole as it entered that living room wall?
Yes, it is.
How about photograph 7134?
This is back inside the child's bedroom at 710. This is the closet area. Along this wall to the left there would be the door of this bedroom.
photograph 7135.
This is inside of that same closet. If you're looking into the closet, it's the wall on your right-hand side. So this wall right here, which on the other side of that closet wall is going to be the closet back in 708 that's at the end of that small hallway.
And again, can you show that on your sketch since you've used it to kind of orient yourself on Stacy's Exhibit 76?
So this picture here is showing the child's bedroom closet in 710, which is here, and the closet in 708 is on this side. So you can see the backs of the two closets back up to each other.
Photograph 7137.
This is leaning more towards inside the closet, looking straight on at that right-hand wall. You can see the bullet hole a little bit better on that wall. And down here at the bottom is a projectile from that bullet hole.
Is that what's generally down here where the arrow is?
Yes.
All right. How about photograph 7139?
This is just a close-up picture of that projectile that you can see right here. And it's been labeled with placard number 46.
And that brings us back to the beginning of that scene, correct?
Correct.
All right. We talked earlier about how you process a Dodge Durango vehicle. Is that correct?
Correct.
Do you remember when that was, when you were processing that vehicle?
I do. That was on Monday, January 14th, 2013.
Okay. And when you processed that vehicle, did you take photographs of it?
I did.
As we pull that folder up that says Durango vehicle and load the photographs. Do you recognize these thumbnail photographs as being some of those photographs that you took of that particular vehicle back on January 14th, 2013?
Yes, I do.
And again, do they fairly and accurately depict that vehicle as it appeared to you as you were processing it?
Yes, they do.
We'll start with the first one here and go to the photograph that's marked with the file number 8121. What do we see in this particular picture?
This is looking at the front of the Dodge Durango.
Now, where was this when you were processing this vehicle?
They towed this vehicle to our garage, and the area that you see in the background there is our garage that we were able to process vehicles in.
And when you say our garage, who are you referring to?
The CCBI on Hammond Road, our facility where our office is, we have a 3 or 4 car garage.
How about photograph 8122?
Again, the front of the Dodge Durango showing the right front quarter panel.
8125.
This is the front passenger door of the Dodge Durango.
How about photograph 8126?
Front passenger door and right rear passenger door of the Durango.
Photograph 8127.
This is looking at the Durango from the back.
Photograph 8131.
This is the Durango looking at the front left quarter panel.
How about photograph 8135?
The driver's door here and then the left rear passenger door.
So have we basically now gone all the way around the vehicle?
Yes.
Except for the last one, let's photograph 8136.
Just showing a little more of the driver's side of the vehicle, left rear passenger door and left rear quarter panel.
How about photograph 8137? What is that showing?
This is the driver's area of the vehicle with the door open.
Okay. Now, the seatbelt is looped around the steering wheel, is that correct?
Correct.
Is that something you all do to secure a vehicle, or is that as you found it?
That's as we found it.
Okay.
Do you know if it was towed to your garage?
It was.
Is that something that they, to your knowledge, that they commonly do when they tow a vehicle?
That's not something that I normally see, but that was done prior to them bringing it to our facility, so I'm not sure exactly who did that.
Okay.
How about photograph 8148?
This is the left rear passenger seat showing a child's car seat in that seat.
How about 8153, what's that showing?
Now the rear cargo door is open, just showing the back cargo area of the Durango.
Now 8155.
This is the right rear passenger door that's now open, showing the inside the back seat area. I believe this is the second row of seats. I think there's a third row behind that one.
And how about photograph 8166?
This is the front passenger seat.
Looking at photograph 8184, do you know what we're looking at here?
This is the glove compartment area, I believe, of the Durango. And this silver piece is a cylinder to a weapon that was found in the glove compartment.
The glove compartment or the center console? You can feel free to refer to your notes.
It was the center console.
So that's the
This is the gun barrel from the center console, found in the Dodge Durango.
storage area between the two front seats.
Correct.
How about state or the photograph marked 8187?
That is the rear seat. There's 3 rows of seats in this vehicle. There's the front 2 seats. This right here is the back of the middle set of seats, and this is the rear seats, and this is the floorboard area of that vehicle. And if you can see this right here, this is a live round, a .40 caliber unfired round that was found in the floorboard area of the Durango.
So how about photograph then 8188?
This is just a close-up picture of that round. You can see that it's fully intact with the copper portion, the projectile, still intact.
And that brings us back to the beginning there, correct?
Correct.
All right. The next day, on January the 15th of 2013, did you have the occasion to be called out to help in the processing of a scene that was subject to a search warrant on Montesino Drive?
Yes.
Okay. And as part of your duties in processing a scene pursuant to a search warrant, do you also take photographs when you're there before potentially collecting any items?
Yes.
And did you take photographs during that search warrant?
No, I did not.
Okay.
Not at the scene, no.
Okay. Where did you take those? Where did you take photographs?
I took photographs of items that were removed from that residence at a later time in our lab at our facility.
Okay. And the folder here that's marked on our photo disc, first Montesino Drive search. I'm going to open that up, load those photos, and see if you can recognize these thumbnails. Okay, do you recognize those thumbnail images as photographs you took looking at the items that were taken pursuant to that first search warrant on Montesino Drive?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Open the first one. First of all, it's photograph marked 8324. What is it a photograph of?
This is a photograph of a 7.62 rifle that was retrieved from the attic on Montesino Drive.
At which address on Montesino Drive? Do you have that?
That was from 165 Montesino.
Okay. And where are you when you are actually taking photographs of these items?
This is in our lab on Hampton Road.
Did you collect these items from that location at 165 Montesino Drive?
I did.
How about photograph 8325? What is that?
This is the same rifle. I've just flipped it over to show the other side of it.
Photograph 8326.
This is a rifle, the same rifle, with a close-up of the serial number that you can see here. It reads CM07037.
How about photograph 8332? What is that?
This is the magazines from that rifle. These are actually two magazines that are bound together by white tape. And this is a single round from that rifle.
How about photograph 8335?
These are the same magazines, just a different view to show how they are configured with the tape around them.
And as we look at this photograph, it appears that some rounds are actually in these magazines. Is that correct?
Yes, they are.
When you received these items and collected it from that scene, were these magazines fully loaded?
Yes, they were. They were as they appear now.
How about photograph 8336?
This is of a .45 caliber handgun that was retrieved from the attic of 165 Montesino.
And was this on January the 15th of 2013?
This was, yes, January 15th, 2013.
And as you look at this photograph, I think you can actually see the brand name of this handgun. Is that correct up here where the
Yes.
cursor is? What brand name was on this handgun?
Haskell.
Looking at photograph 8337, is that a closer view of that brand name and other identifying information?
Yes, it is.
How about photograph 8345? What are you showing here?
This is from the .45 caliber weapon that was in the previous picture. This bullet here was from the chamber of the weapon, and these bullets were from the magazine from the weapon.
So how many bullets were there altogether?
10 altogether from the magazine and the chamber.
How about photograph 8348? What are you showing here?
These this is one of the bullets from the previous picture, and you can see on the head stamp, normally on the head stamp area of the a bullet or a shell casing, if you can go back on
Sure.
that picture. That area looks like just a round ball, but it's actually this bottom area of the bullet. Okay.
Okay.
And I'm taking a photograph of it because normally on the bottom area of a bullet or a shell casing, you'll be able to see the manufacturer of the ammunition and the caliber of the weapon. However, on these particular bullets, they appeared to be scratched off to the point that the information on the bottom of there was completely illegible.
How about photograph 8349 then?
This is showing the 9 bullets from the magazine. All had the similar scratchings on the bottom where the information on the head stamp would be.
How about photograph 8351?
This is another magazine with bullets from that magazine.
Was this also another magazine that was found during that search on January the 15th, 2013 at 165 Montesino Drive?
Yes, it was.
Okay. And the bullets that you had pulled out there, did they come from this magazine that was found during that search warrant?
Yes.
And looking at photograph 8354, what do we see?
Again, showing the bottom portion, the head stamp of these bullets, how they are scratched off to the point that the information on the bottom is illegible.
And how many bullets did you retrieve from that magazine?
7.
And that brings us back to the first picture in this group, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Have you seen?
This might be a good breaking point.
I'm asking.
Yeah. Members of the jury, it's about 11:25. I'm going to release you for our morning break and ask you to return at 11:40. Please keep in mind the rules that I gave to you last week. Don't talk about this case among yourselves or allow anybody to talk about it in your presence. Don't form any opinions about anything that you've heard. And don't conduct any type of independent research or investigation. Please return to the jury room at 11:40, and at that point we will bring you back in and pick up where we left off. I'm going to ask everyone to remain seated while the jury is excused. You can step down. Let the record reflect that all members of the jury have left the courtroom. Excuse me, was there anything on behalf of the state
Yes, sir.
or the defense?
No, Your Honor.
Very well, we'll be at recess for 15 minutes.
Superior Court has recess for 15 minutes.